VLSos here. This is a video lesson on mixed numbers. An example of a mixed number is 2 1/2. We can think of this as a mix or a combination of a whole part and a fraction part. Mixed numbers are considered fractions because they include fractions. We're going to define what a mixed number is. It is a single number expressed as a mix of a whole part and a fraction. We could point to this example and label the whole part. And point to the 1/2 and label it the fraction. Very often, when we want to use mixed numbers in a math problem, it's difficult to use the number as a mixed number. It's good to express numbers in final answers as mixed numbers, but when we use them, it's usually best to convert them to just a fraction. So what does that look like? If we had a calculator and we entered 2 1/2, in decimal form it could look like this, 2.5. But what's very useful is the fraction form. Imagine that this 2 1/2, visually we can represent it as two wholes that are being added together. That's the 2, plus another half. 2 1/2 is the sum of 1 whole plus 1 whole plus 1/2. And each of these wholes we can visually represent as being 2 halves. So how many halves does this represent, the 2 1/2 or the shaded region? There are a total of 5 halves. When we convert a mixed number to be just a fraction, this is called an improper fraction. And we're going to define what an improper fraction is. It is a fraction whose numerator is greater than its denominator. Converting between improper fractions and mixed numbers is something that we do all the time. We like improper fractions because they're very useful in the middle of a math process. If we have a mixed number, we usually want to convert it to an improper fraction so the number is easier to use. If we have an improper fraction as a final answer, we like to convert it to a mixed number to show how many wholes we have in that number, and then the fraction part is the remainder. We're going to practice converting with another example. We're going to start with the mixed number 3 1/5. We want to convert this mixed number to an improper fraction. How do we do that? We're going to go slow at first, and we're going to think of the 3 as adding 1 3 times. We're going to show the 3 as 1 plus 1 plus 1, and then the 1/5 would be adding another 5th. Now each of these 1s I'm going to convert into 5ths. Something over itself is equal to 1. So if I wanted to turn a single whole 1 into a fraction with a denominator of 5, then I can write that 1 as 5 over 5. Each of these 1s is 5 over 5. And then there's the 1/5. And we're still adding. Now that I've seen the whole part, the 3 as 3 1s, and each 1 expressed as 5ths, this is fraction addition with a common denominator, and I can add the numerators to get 16 and keep that common denominator. This is how we can convert a whole number into an improper fraction. If I wanted to convert the improper fraction into a whole number, I could do in my mind or use a calculator and do the division. 16 divided by 5. 16 divided by 5 would give me a whole number of 3. So I would be able to understand that the whole number part is 3, and then I would figure out how many 5ths I have left over if I take 3 wholes out, or 15 5ths. There is a quick way to convert mixed number. It's good to see this process so we understand where it comes from, but there's a faster way to do the math. If I have the mixed number 12 1/4, I can think of this as 12, and if I want to convert the 12 into quarters, I can think of multiplying by 4 over 4, a version of 1. 12 times 1 is still 12. It's not going to change the value. But if I multiply 12 by 4 over 4, which is a version of 1, then I will be able to see the whole number 12 converted into quarters. And then we have the 1/4 that was part of the mixed number. Now in this next step, the 12 times the 4 over 4 is going to make 48 quarters. And we still add that 1/4 to get a final answer of 49 quarters. We converted the mixed number into an improper fraction. The fastest way to do this is to multiply the whole by the denominator of the fraction and add the numerator of the fraction. 12 times 4 is 48, plus 1 is 49. That's how I got the 49 in the numerator, and we're still working with quarters. Let's see that one more time. The fastest way. I want to convert this mixed number 10 2/7 into an improper fraction just sevenths. I take the whole component, I multiply by the denominator of the fraction, 10 times 7 is 70, add the numerator, 70 plus 2 is 72, and I get the numerator of the fraction with the same denominator of 7.